For years, you've been told that muscle and strength after 60 mean one thing: eggs. But what if the secret to defying sarcopenia, to feeling truly vibrant and strong, isn't just hidden, but profoundly misunderstood? As your integrative longevity specialist, I've seen countless patients transform, not with expensive supplements, but with the quiet power of plants. Stick with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the single most impactful plant-based food that will not only help you build muscle, but redefine your entire approach to aging, backed by cutting-edge science and real-world results. You won't believe what you're missing. You see, sarcopenia, this accelerated muscle loss after 60, is not a life sentence. It's a process we can influence, a conversation we can have with our own bodies. For too long, we've focused on just one part of that conversation, protein, while ignoring the foundation upon which all strength is built. Today, we're not just going to talk about adding foods to your diet. We are going to architect a complete strategy for muscle resilience, a blueprint for vitality that starts from the ground up. This is the new truth for aging strong, and it begins right now. We can't build a strong house on a weak foundation. That's why, as a longevity specialist, my first question is never, how much protein are you eating? It's, how healthy is your digestive system? This is where our journey to build muscle truly begins, with a humble yet powerful foundational architect, okra. Now, many people overlook okra. Its actual protein count isn't what makes it a hero in our story. Its genius lies in its role as a digestive conditioner. The soluble fiber and unique mucilage, that gentle, gel-like substance inside, create a soothing, protective lining along your entire gut. This calming barrier helps reduce the low-grade inflammation that can prevent your body from absorbing the nutrients it needs. It essentially opens the gateways, priming the engine, so that all the powerful proteins we'll discuss later are fully welcomed and utilized by your body, not wasted. Think of your gut as garden soil. Over time, that soil can become hard, compacted, and depleted. You can throw the best seeds in the world, our protein, onto that soil, but very little will grow. Okra's unique fiber is like adding rich, nourishing compost. It softens and revitalizes that soil, making it perfectly fertile and receptive to every nutrient you give it. It prepares the ground for growth. On top of that, it provides essential minerals like magnesium, which helps ease the very muscle cramps and tightness that can make movement feel difficult. So before we even think about building, we must first prepare. And this simple green pod is the first critical step in our blueprint to build muscle and reclaim strength. And now that our foundation is set and ready to absorb, we need to ensure the construction signals are getting through loud and clear. From my clinical experience, a weak or shaky movement isn't always a sign of a weak muscle. It's often a sign of a weak signal. To build muscle, we must first fix the body's electrical wiring. Let's sharpen that vital connection with asparagus. The true power of this elegant vegetable in our longevity plan comes from its rich supply of folate and a crucial compound called choline. Choline is the primary building block for acetylcholine, a key neurotransmitter that acts like a messenger, carrying commands from your nerve endings directly to your muscle fibers, telling them precisely when and how to contract. Think of it like trying to listen to your favorite song on an old radio, but it's filled with static. You can barely make out the tune. That's what happens between your brain and your muscles without enough choline. The signal is there, but it's weak and distorted. This can result in hesitation, or that feeling of unsteadiness that erodes confidence and increases the risk of a fall. The nutrients in asparagus help to clear that static, making the signal crisp, clear, and immediate. Your brain gives a command, and your body responds instantly, with strength and confidence. Furthermore, asparagus acts as a gentle, natural diuretic, helping to release excess water that can cause swelling in the legs and ankles, which further improves mobility. This isn't just about muscle mass. It's about restoring the seamless communication network that allows you to move through the world with grace and stability. With our foundation prepared and our communication lines clear, it's time to work on the structure itself. In my work with patients on their long-term health, I explain that this is always a two-part job. First, we need to rebuild the flexible scaffolding that holds our muscles and joints together, ensuring everything stays supple and resilient. Second, we need an elite 24/7 fire department to constantly put out the small, hidden fires of inflammation that silently weaken the entire structure over the years. To accomplish this dual mission, we bring in a highly specialized two-vegetable crew, Brussels sprouts and broccoli. Let's start with the builders, Brussels sprouts. They are a powerhouse of vitamin C. Now, we often think of vitamin C for colds, but its more critical role in longevity is producing collagen. Collagen is the essential protein that forms the flexible matrix of our connective tissues, our tendons and ligaments. It's the very scaffolding that keeps our movements smooth and our muscles from feeling stiff and brittle. Next, the fire department, broccoli. This vegetable contains a remarkable compound called sulforaphane. Think of sulforaphane not as an antioxidant itself, but as the fire chief that activates your body's own powerful antioxidant defenses. It effectively calls in your internal fire department to quench the chronic, low-grade inflammation that quietly erodes muscle tissue and accelerates the aging process. Imagine we're renovating a beautiful, historic building. The Brussels sprouts are the expert construction crew, bringing in new, strong, yet flexible materials to repair the internal framework and support beams. That's our collagen synthesis. But at the same time, behind the walls, there are sparks from old, faulty wiring causing small, constant fires. That's chronic inflammation. The broccoli, with its sulforaphane, is the high-tech sprinkler system that automatically detects and extinguishes these fires before they can ever cause real, lasting structural damage. To build muscle that lasts, you absolutely need both, the diligent builders and the vigilant protectors. This is how we create a frame that is not only strong, but truly resilient. A well-built structure with perfect wiring is useless without power. The energy to move, to lift, to live with vigor doesn't come from the size of the muscles themselves, but from trillions of tiny engines inside them called mitochondria. As a longevity specialist, this is where I focus heavily with my patients, because as we age, these cellular engines can get clogged and become inefficient. Let's clean them out and boost their performance with two of the most nutrient-dense greens on the planet, kale and spinach. These greens are fundamental to reigniting your cellular energy. Kale, for instance, is rich in vitamin K, which helps expertly direct calcium for efficient muscle contraction. But crucially, it's also loaded with antioxidants that act as a protective shield for your delicate mitochondria, guarding them against the oxidative stress that wears them down over time. Then we have spinach. It contains natural nitrates that our body converts into nitric oxide, a fantastic molecule that helps relax blood vessels. This improves circulation, delivering more vital oxygen to those tiny engines, which boosts stamina and fights that feeling of fatigue. On top of that, its wealth of magnesium is a critical component in the body's actual energy creation process. Think of your mitochondria as your car's engine. When you're young, it's a clean, powerful V8, running effortlessly. Over time, without the right maintenance, carbon builds up, the fuel lines get clogged, and it starts to run rough, losing power and efficiency. The powerful nutrients in kale and spinach are like a world-class engine tune-up combined with a high-octane fuel. They clean out the carbon, clear the fuel lines, and allow the engine to run smoothly and powerfully again, giving you that effortless, all-day energy you remember. This is the very foundation of your daily endurance and vitality. Everything is now in place. The foundation, the wiring, the structure, and the power. Now we finally need to call in the specialized construction crew and tell them exactly where and how to build. This isn't about just having materials on site. This requires a very specific signal, an anabolic trigger that kickstarts the entire muscle repair process. We find this critical trigger in abundance in green peas and their essential recovery partner, mushrooms. Let's talk about the signal. While many foods contain protein, green peas are exceptionally rich in a particular amino acid called leucine. In the world of cellular biology and longevity, leucine is the master switch. It is the primary on signal for something called muscle protein synthesis. For bodies over 60, which can become less responsive to growth signals over time, getting a clear, strong leucine signal is absolutely non-negotiable for actually building new muscle tissue. Imagine a construction site with all the workers and materials ready and waiting. They are all standing by, but they won't do a thing until the foreman blows the whistle and points to the exact wall they need to build. Leucine, from foods like green peas, is that foreman. It blows the whistle, signaling the body's repair mechanisms to get to work right now, initiating the rebuilding process with precision. But the job isn't done when the whistle blows. After the work, the site needs to be prepared for the next day. This is where mushrooms come in as the recovery team. They provide high-quality protein and B vitamins for energy, but their unique contribution comes from compounds like ergothioneine, which help manage the oxidative stress that occurs after activity. They are the post-work cleanup and logistics crew, ensuring the site is clear, repaired, and ready for the next round of building, preventing delays and setbacks in your progress. This precision combination of signaling and recovery is the true secret to activating sustainable muscle growth. And cue everything we've discussed so far. Absorption, signaling, protection, energy, repair is crucial. They're all keys to different doors of your health. But what if one plant held the master key? A key that doesn't just open one door, but unlocks the entire system of strength and vitality at once. This is what I have been waiting to share with you. This is my #1 pick as a longevity specialist. This is moringa, often called the Edgecon miracle tree, and for very good reason. From a scientific standpoint, it's one of the most complete nutrient sources on the planet. First, its protein profile. Unlike almost any other plant, moringa contains all 9 essential amino acids, including a powerful, clear dose of leucine, that critical foreman we just talked about. It provides all the building blocks and the signal to build, all in one place. It is a complete protein in the truest sense of the word. But its power goes far beyond that. It embodies nutrient synergy. Moringa is packed with iron to directly combat the fatigue that plagues so many. It has more calcium than milk to support bone density and muscle function. And its spectrum of antioxidants is so vast, it addresses that constant, low-grade inflammation fire more effectively than almost any other single food source. It supports our gut health foundation. It fuels our cellular engines. It provides the materials for repair. It is the ultimate integrator of our entire strategy. I want to tell you about a patient of mine. Let's call her Eleanor. At 72, she was terrified of the stairs in her own home. She felt weak, unsteady, and had sadly given up her beloved gardening club. We architected a comprehensive plan, and at its very heart was the consistent daily use of moringa powder in her morning tea. 6 months later, Eleanor called me, not from her house, but from a hilltop. She had rejoined her hiking club. She said to me, with a voice full of life, "I feel like you didn't just give me my muscles back, you gave me my life back." That is the power of a true master key. It doesn't just build muscle, it rebuilds possibilities. This is why, in the journey to stay strong, energized, and independent, moringa may be the single most powerful plant you can invite to your table. The knowledge is now yours. But as your specialist, I must tell you that knowledge without action is just trivia. The power is not in the knowing, it's in the doing. So let's quickly recap your new blueprint for vitality. Remember the strategy. First, you prepare the ground with optimal gut health. Then, you clear the communication lines for precise signaling. You build and protect your structural frame, power up your cellular engines, and finally use the precision key to trigger growth. This is about creating a resilient system where all parts work in harmony. The goal isn't to rely on one, magic, food, but to use a variety of these plant powerhouses together. So, here is my call to action for you. Start small. Pick just one of these foods this week and integrate it into your meals. Share in the comments below which one you're going to try first, so we can all support each other on this journey. As always, this information is designed to empower your health journey. Please discuss any significant dietary changes with your trusted healthcare provider to ensure this blueprint aligns perfectly with your unique health needs. This isn't just about adding vegetables to your plate. It's about becoming the architect of your own strength. You hold the blueprint. Now, go build a stronger tomorrow.